Hey loves, welcome to my channel. My name is Keturah. If you don't know me, stick around and get to know me. You can definitely subscribe and follow me on Instagram to stay in the loop with all things me. I am an intuitive, creative, healer, bad bitch, truth teller, whatever else. And this is my this is my first vlog. I crack myself up. This is my first vlog. It is 10:59, about to be 11 o'clock, January 24th. Today is actually my first day of classes, and I just want to come up here and say hey to y'all and start the vlog off before I get to going with my busy schedule. I only have one class today, but I have work and I have content to make for both of my pages, both the Sacred Identity, which is my podcast page, and for just my main page, like the channel page. I put a poll up on my story today and I asked folks what collective reading did they want for me to do, because I've just been trying to find the inspiration to be a tarot reader again. Like, I am a reader, but I've just been into other things. Like, I've decided I wanted to start YouTube. I've decided I wanted to vlog, and with anything that I decide to do, I have to do research. I have to learn. So I've been very much in a like collecting information, learning type energy, whereas tarot, I feel like I know how to do it. I done started the business already, gained the clientele. It just kind of is what it is. So I'm growing in other aspects. I've been trying to find it in me to like keep going with being a tarot reader and integrate that into what I'm doing now. So I posted a poll and I was like, you know, what collective reading do y'all want? And right now, let me see if I could pull it up. Last time I checked, healing was in the lead, but now healing and abundance are tied. So people want a message on abundance, people want a message on healing, split. But when I first saw it and healing was in the lead, I just sat here and I channeled a whole message regarding healing. And I wrote out what I was thinking and what I was feeling in the moment, and I think I'm gonna make a reel based on that. Essentially what I picked up on is that some of us have a strong relationship to that of our trauma, to that of thinking negatively, and that sometimes when you in that energy, you aren't gonna be able to see your blessings. We talk about manifesting and praying all the time, but you have to be in a certain state of mind to really recognize when your blessing is near, recognize when your manifestation is near. And if all we can ever perceive is what's going wrong with us, what's going wrong with the world, and all the ways in which people got us fucked up, how we gonna know when to give our thanks? How we gonna know when to receive our blessings, receive our manifestations, to thrive, you know? So I want to help folks move past just responding to trauma or just thinking in ways that are not beneficial or conducive to our growth long term or our healing long term. And yeah, that's the message that I have. It'll be way more streamlined when y'all see it on social media, so go check out the post, go check out the page, because I'm actually gonna make it. I ain't procrastinating. I'm gonna actually make the post. But yeah, that's what I'm working on right now, and I want to finish it before I have to go to work, which I got like 30 minutes before I leave. So I need to get on there right now. I'm about to get on Instagram and record this reel, or at least start a draft of it, so I know to come back and finish it. I look good. I'm a Leo. For those of y'all who don't know, I'm a Leo. So if you're gonna be here for a while, you're going to get used to this. But I'm about to record this video and then be on my way. Yeah, I'll see y'all in a minute. Y'all, I'm actually really surprised that I'm doing YouTube and that I'm doing YouTube seriously, because I've been thinking about doing this for a minute, like for a good minute. Kind of like was like, that's not for me, I'm too shy, and I already know it's gonna take me some time to get comfortable actually recording and being on this camera. But I done made the commitment, I done made the investment. This camera wasn't cheap. So guess who finna have her ass up here on this camera figuring it out? This one. But yeah, here's to actually doing the things that you say you want to do, like internally, like actually doing them. Here's to that. I'm proud of myself. I just wanted to share that real fast. I need to go before I be late.
Keep your eyes on me, apply that. Get it, don't be timid when you in it, apply that. Love upon it, give along, leave it. I don't want no drip, baby, spray it like it's so fine. It's spicy, baby, jump up on this. I guess that's why you like it, baby, come and give this. Takes a lot to inside me, baby, give it all you got. I'm a tough cookie, baby, get the right side. Texting me, you know I won't reply. Why you ain't with me when I wasn't this fly? Now I'm on top and now I'm riding sky high. Don't need nobody, but I'll take you down tonight. And now I'm okay with being nasty. You can hop for all these clothes anyway. My body dripping, but you gon' have to wait. But when you get it, lick it like you can't change. Keep your eyes on me, apply. Get it, don't be timid when you in it, fly. Love upon me, live alone, need it. Say I don't want no drip, baby, spray it like you need it. So fine, it's spicy, baby, jump up on this. I guess that's why you like it, baby, come and give this. Takes a lot to inside me, baby, give it all you got. I'm a thug cookie, baby, get the right side.
Hey y'all. Where I got y'all set at is not really the most flattering angle, but I'm done with work. I'm in my car right now. It's 3:48 and my class starts at 4:15, so I only got so much time to eat this wrap and get into class because I want to get a good seat. So this class is values and ethics, which if you work with people in any form or capacity, I think particularly as it relates to being in a helping profession or like the healthcare field, for me it's like mental health, just in general, there's usually a code that you have to follow, because you're liable for what people do to themselves. You're liable for how you treat people legally. So I'm assuming values and ethics will be getting into that kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to all of my classes. I don't know if I said that earlier in the vlog, but I do think that I want to take y'all through in detail what it is I'm taking. I got assignments due in these classes already. I don't know how I feel about that. School started yesterday, or the semester started yesterday, and I got assignments due tomorrow. We're gonna see how this works. Hey y'all, I'm home. I done took a shower, did my little skincare, girl, all moisturized, all settled in. I got my sound frequencies going, got a candle lit. I'm definitely feeling relaxed, and I think I needed that because today, I don't want to say I was anxious, but I'm dealing with this thing where I'm feeling like I'm on autopilot. So anything that I can do to make myself feel present, like allow myself to be in the moment, I'm trying to do. Like I'm trying to practice being in a moment. So creating a vibe helps me with being present, being mindful, staying in a moment. I have homework that I need to do where I at least need to look at my planner and see what's due. I have a class on Friday whose syllabus just became available today and got an assignment due tomorrow. So it's just like I need to sit down, check the dates on everything, replan everything, make sure I have everything in order. I had somebody book a reading for tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna just plan the rest of my days out. I wanted to check in and tell you all about that class. The professor is like really lax. I wasn't expecting that. So I think it's gonna be a cool class. I don't think that just because her demeanor is like lax that she is gonna be easy on us in terms of the content of the class, because she seems to be passionate about what she's teaching about. So I don't expect it to be just a breeze. She's really chill. Like, she asked us if we wanted to do one of our classes, because I take this class 2 times a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. She was like, if y'all want to do one of these days virtual, let's vote, let me know. And of course, we all voted to do one of these classes virtual because, like I said, none of the upper level social work courses have online classes. Like, I haven't seen none of that. They really want us in them classes to get that information, I guess, but there ain't no virtual options. Like I said, I had one class last year, and they had like a virtual option check-in type thing where if you didn't want to come to the class physically, you could get on a class online on Zoom. But I guess they told them that they can't do that no more, because when they do that, then everybody just don't come to class on those days. Which, why don't y'all just give us the option to do online classes? Like, it is 2023. But okay, whatever. Whatever. But I think I'm gonna like this class because there is a debate element to it. I guess when it comes to ethics and morale and everything, she really wants us to explore that with each other in a class. There's also this element of like reflecting on how social justice and ethics intersect. As a social worker, I guess we're gonna be writing a paper on a social issue, and like ethical considerations of that social issue, so on and so forth. So yeah, cool little vibe. Don't seem too difficult. She seems more like go with the flow, and I appreciate that. So instead of sitting down and just reading to y'all the list of what classes I'm taking and like what they stand for and stuff, I decided that I'm going to just, on the day that I have the class for the first time, I'm going to tell y'all what the class is about. So I'm about to grab her syllabus and tell y'all what's up. You know, the first week of classes really just be like going over the syllabus and stuff, answering questions. People be introducing themselves and all of that, and I hate that. I'm like, let's just get into it already. But okay, I guess whatever. So this is social work values and ethics. I said that already earlier. But this is how they describe it. They describe it as providing a framework for understanding, managing, and analyzing ethical dilemmas, including professional boundaries, using the NSAW Code of Ethics, and an ethical decision-making process. I have to watch some lectures in both my geology class and my public speaking class, and I have a quiz due tomorrow. Like, y'all, it's really baffling me that it is the third day of school and I already have quizzes and assignments and shit due this week. I guess I need to get over it. I guess they said, oh, you're a junior now, step your cookies up. I feel very much so like I gotta step my motherfucking cookies up.
You were but a feeling someone fearless. But you swim as well as you
Today is January 26th. It is 7:40 at night. I went to school, but, well, I went to work and school. But I did not take my camera with me because I honestly did not feel like vlogging today. I was just trying to get through the day. But I do have some reflections to share with y'all based on how my day went. So we're going to have a little chit chat. And I'm going to go and get my food and heat it up. The dog is in here, y'all. The dog is in here. Milo. He's trying to find him a spot to lay down. But little do he know, he finna go back with my sister. He finna go back to wherever he came from. I love him, but I don't have the energy. Look at him. Y'all, he done made him a little spot. Today, I had work at 12. Then I had values and ethics. Then I had individuals and families, direct practice. I don't know. This is one of my classes that only meet once a week. So it's a class that is over 2 hours long. And folks in the class kind of know each other already. Like when I first got in there, it kind of reminded me of high school a little bit. You know how you walk in and you got the same classes with your friends, or you got the same schedule and y'all comparing schedules. That's kind of what it was given. And I was just like, this is different. I thought we were in college. But hey, I guess, there are only so many people who are social work majors. And if we all enrolled in a program at a certain time, we got similar schedules. So only so many requirements you got to take to get the degree. So I guess it would make sense that we would end up in the same classes. But I don't know why that kind of just threw me off. I'm like, okay, all of y'all know each other. And I ain't even gonna lie, some of them I did know from previous classes, but they acting like they been to summer camp with each other. They best friends and everything else, and I'm just like, I don't fuck with any of y'all like that. And that's gonna take me into my next thing, because I don't have no problem with building community with folks. I don't have no problem with, working with different people coming from various backgrounds. But I'm really grappling with the fact that social work is a really white field. And part of me just knows, like, it ain't even part of me. I just know that it's a fact that my white colleagues, the people that I'm in these classes with, because I go to a PWI, right? I know they're about to go to work in communities where the social welfare system, or child welfare, or school social work, depending on where they live at, or where they decide to get a job at. But a good majority of these people is about to work with folks of color, particularly Black people. And if I'm taking the same social work program that they're taking, I personally don't feel like there is enough material or classes or courses or anything that they could take to make them competent enough culturally or even socially to not bring their privilege or not bring any, prejudice or whatever into those spaces. And even if the curriculum was built that way, that stuff is really internal. So there has not been enough like mention of white privilege for me. There has not been and I'm not gonna fault my school. I'm not gonna fault my classes or my professors, because there has been some professors who really talk about privilege and whatever. But we had a presenter come in today, and he was talking about, because this is a class that we have a service learning requirement. He was talking about like minding your, checking yourself at the door, as he would say. Now, mind you, this is a predominantly white school. Not to say that I'm not going to have to check myself in a position that I am in. But Black people, when we going into predominantly white spaces, we end up having to check ourselves any fucking way, Whether we assimilating, code switching, whatever. That's just what we have to go through. So I'm already checking myself at the motherfucking door, because I know where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? White people, I don't think, have to carry that same type of regard or attitude about them, of checking themselves. So he was talking about checking yourself and checking your positionality minding your positionality, something of that sort. And I'm like, why won't you just say what it is? Check your white privilege. Like, what, what, I don't really understand what we skirting around the name of it for is. And I think that's because for the fragility of whiteness is real. Like, I don't know. I think the fact that I have a goal this semester to actually show up to my classes, like not skip them or not try to do the virtual option every time, because I have a goal to actually show up and immerse myself in the college experience more. I think I'm going to be challenged with being in spaces with white people. Because it's just not something that I'm aspiring to do. Like, and I'm not saying that in the way that like, oh, every white person is a bad person or anything. It's just that I know I want to work with black folks. I know that, everybody's lived experience is not the same. I know, like, I'd rather be learning with black folks. And this is just really me expressing how I feel, because I'm gonna give y'all an example. I mean, I've noticed that the social work field, this is something I've been noticed. I noticed it when I went to my class, not yesterday, but day before yesterday, because I didn't have classes yesterday. So day before yesterday, I was in values and ethics, and we did this thing where we all went around the room and we all said who, where we're from, and that fun fact, the shit that I don't like. I hate that. We went around the room and we did that, and damn near every single white woman who was in that class was not from Milwaukee. And I understand that, like, how do I say this? I understand that when you go to college, not everybody is from the area, locally. But for me, I grew up in Milwaukee. I live in Milwaukee. I know that my work, the community I want to impact is here in Milwaukee, and I take pride in that. And for those of y'all who don't know, like, I'm gonna put some statistics and facts about what it's like living as a black person here in Milwaukee on a screen somewhere. So for these folks to be, learning at UWM, University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and driving hours, commuting to come to sit in these classes, it just makes me think of the disconnect. I don't know if they're about to take this University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee education and take it back to one of these suburbs that they coming from, or one of these villages or small towns that they coming from. But we face a lot of like oppression here, disproportionately, on a social level, on a economic level, on a racial level. And because I know all of this, and because I've lived all of this, because I've grown up in all of this, and I've seen all of this, it just feels weird as hell for me to be sitting in a classroom full of people who don't come from here, that ain't from here, that are learning in a school, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna take these skills and go where with them? And impact who with them? I don't know how I feel about it. Y'all let me know if y'all catch my drift and understand my sentiment with this. Like, I'm thinking for graduate school, I'm definitely gonna have to go to a black college, because I know I want to go to a graduate school. I've been grappling with if I just want to stay here and do it at my UWM, because it's close to home. I'm already here. But I don't know if I could put up with too much more of this. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. And it's just like the 2 or 3 black women, and like the one, it's just like the 2 or 3 black women, and that's it in every class. 1 black man, and just the majority of the teachers is white too. It's like so far from what my personal politic and my personal belief and my personal, like, if you really fuck with me, you know how hard I go. You you know how hard I go for blackness. You know how hard I go for black women. You know how hard I go just for the community. And I urge you to go watch the video where I talk about myself and what this channel is about and who I am and what I do. Because then you will understand, like, girl, you going to a PWI for real? How you do that? That's how I feel. I really feel like I'm living in a fucking split life or two different worlds, and it shouldn't have to be like that. And academia is just, in general, steeped. The whole idea of being a black person going to college in general to a PWI is just steeped in anti-blackness, bro. I can't, like, the whole system, you know, it's like they've tried to make avenues, you know, whether it be scholarships or programs or pre-college programs, because I work for a pre-college program, to engage young people, you know, people of color, young people of color, in the idea of going to college, continuing their education, so on and so forth. But it's like you get here, and one of my first realizations was, yo, this shit is not for me. I can clearly see that this is not for me. And I also had a reflection at one point where I'm like, damn, it really is a part of white people's culture to go to college. Whether Susanna or Jonathan or Beck know what they or he want to do or not, it is socially, like, a part of their growing up. You know what I'm saying? Not for every white person, but it is a part of their culture. And there is that disconnect where that is not a real thing for black kids or black people in general. We feel like that's some white people shit, or we're just not worried about that because we worried about our survival. We trying to make some money, and I don't fault nobody for having those priorities, because that is something I go back and forth with too, because y'all see how hard I work outside of this college stuff. Like like I don't have the privilege of just saying, bye mommy, bye daddy, I'm going to college, and I just go to school and I just go full time and I just complete my degree. No, I gotta work. You know what I'm saying? I got bills to pay. I still have to adult. I don't have no safety net for real like that. So it's just like, I feel like I'm living in a complete different world than the majority of folks that I'm going to school with. And that's not to say that I have to have a common experience with everybody I'm going to this school with, but it just make you think and reflect about being black. It really makes you reflect on the culture and all of this stuff. And I've been talking for 20 minutes. I guess that's just my sign to tell y'all good night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Obviously, let me know what you think down below about anything that I just said. I'm watching me a new Netflix show, so I'm finna turn it on and eat and take my black ass to bed. I'm about to head to class. It is 8:43 in the morning. I'm going to mindfulness in community building. And I don't really know what to say about this class. I'll let y'all know how I go. I have work right after it, so yeah. Hey y'all. So I'm at work by myself. Because it is Friday and I am usually at work by myself on Fridays. And I like mindfulness and community building class. Like I said before, it is like a graduate level class, and I guess since I'm a upper classman in the social work program now, we're eligible to take it as a social work elective. I was sitting there and I was like, I think this might be one of my favorites. I was kind of rushed this morning, getting out the house and getting in the car and getting here on time for class. Walked into class and everybody was sitting in a circle. I'm I'm like, this is different. Mindfulness and community building class. I think I'll be comfortable with sharing and talking about my experiences and stuff in that class. And one of the requirements is that we have to cultivate mindfulness moments in our days, which is something that I think I could really benefit from because I be in so many different places. And like I said, I'm battling with this thing of feeling like I'm on autopilot. So I think it would be good for me to just ground myself throughout my day. And I kind of found myself leaning on my own personal experiences with mindfulness a few days ago when I felt like I was completely overwhelmed. I'm like, let me take my time and be present in this moment. Let me breathe. You know, let me stop thinking so much and so fast and just focus on what's in front of me. And I have to remind myself of that often throughout the day. Like, focus on what is in front of you. Don't focus on what you got to do later on in the day. Don't focus about, you know, what you got to do 2 days from now. And it just make life easier. It makes it easier to get through the day. I think I'm kind of grappling with what community, because I don't know if, see, this is my thing. I don't know if we're supposed to be learning how to go out in our field, go out in as a social worker, build community amongst our clients and coworkers and such, or build community within our work, or if we're supposed to be building community with the folks who are in the class, or if it's both. I'm trying to figure that out because what is community? You know what I'm saying? If the community that if the community that this class is going to be teaching about requires me to look over my blackness or be colorblind or not consider class, not consider what it means to be marginalized, not consider all of those things, then I have no idea how I'm supposed to be in community with these white people. And I have been in community with white people, but I recognized as I was sitting there earlier today, like, only time I've been comfortable and felt like I was being productive in meaningful community that included white people was when white people were of the minority, which I'm the only black person in this community building class. It's only like 12 of us. I'm the only black person. There's one other woman of color. That just says something right there. But going back to my point, I've only ever been able to be comfortably in community with other white people when they are in the minority, which means there's room for their experiences not to be that of the predominant experience, or there's room for marginalized folks, you know, different people of color, you know, different gender identities, different, you know, people coming from different backgrounds to be able to express themselves, talk about their experiences, and we can learn from each other. I do think that it was a gift that those white people was able to be in that space with us people of color, coming from different backgrounds, because just because you of color, that don't mean that we all have one singular experience or one singular background. There are commonalities, but not the same. So yeah, they were in a minority, and secondly, they were in a position of learning. You know, we were all there learning in that community. So that was something that was being prioritized. It wasn't just like, oh, let's all come together and everybody just be friends and everybody just be amazing community members and everybody just support each other and whatever, because there's no way that we can like just brush over the ways in which white people have acted, the things that they've done. We can't brush over the experiences of marginalized people for the sake of beloved community. And maybe I need to go read about beloved community and what that requires. But I'm have a hard time with this. I'm have a hard time with this because I'm in a predominantly white class that's talking about community, and I am not that. I'm not white, so I'm trying to figure out what community are we supposed to build and all of that. I can already tell just based off the little interactions that have been had with some of these people in this class that some people do got like this colorblind rhetoric about them. Like, they mention marginalized folks or people, different people of color, and it's this whole sentiment of we're all just human at the end of the day. Well, hey, let me break it to y'all. The people in power, the white people who was in power, who are in power, they didn't care that we was all human. You know what I'm saying? They created these systems, and here we are. So I feel like to now be sitting in the graduate level class, and for the folks to be like, oh, it doesn't matter. It kind of do. It do, because people in spaces similar to the spaces we're in right now made it matter. So like, I would want some regard for that, not just, oh, if we want to be in community, we all should be able to, don't matter your color. That just seems unrealistic to me, and that's problematic. That's problematic, because what about the people who do care about color? There are lots of folks who do. So yeah, that's just my reflections on class. But I think I'm gonna like it. I like all of my classes. I know I've been coming up here and critiquing things, but one thing you will learn on this channel, and if you listen to me, if you subscribe, if you follow anything that I do, is that just because I critique something, or just because we critique something, that does not mean that we absolutely hate it, and it isn't, you know, like that there's this super negative outlook on it. It is okay to critique the things that you engage in. I would urge you to critique the things that you engage in, the spaces that you're in. How can the world be a better place? You know, like, don't just accept whatever because somebody is telling you, oh, it's a good thing to be in community with people. But what is community, and what does that look like for everybody? So I guess that's what I'm trying to understand from this class, and I obviously want to pick up the skills of community building. I already have that skill, but you know, I want to fine tune it. I'm paying for this education, so why would I not take a class about something that's in alignment with me? Mindfulness is in alignment with me. Community building is in alignment with me. So we're gonna see how it go. I'm about to do some work. I'll check in with y'all later. Hey y'all, I realized that I did not come back to give y'all an update or to say bye or anything, so I'm finishing recording, and it's like 2 days later, and I just want to say thank you for watching this, because I did way more talking than what I was anticipating to do. But I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram, follow my podcast page. All the links will be below. And yeah, I appreciate you, for real. If you're watching this, I appreciate you.